Welcome to Sweethearts or Rivals. I'm Charlotte.
I'm Justin.
What's on our table today?
Takenoko.
Takenoko with the expansion Chibis. And this is a game that plays 2 to 4 players, recommended for ages 8 and up, and it can take you about 45 minutes.
And the expansion doesn't add to any of that.
Right.
Keep that right there, like so. There we go.
There.
Nice. All right, so this is going to be an impressions video.
Right, where we're going to just say what Chibis adds to the game.
Yeah.
And our overall impression of that.
Yep. All right, so the Chibis expansion adds some new tiles to the tiles that are out. Some of them have some new special abilities, which is kind of cool. So, for example, there's a tile here that has a little bamboo grove of all 3 colors. So it's kind of just like a wild card of all of the bamboo. There is the Celestial Pond, which is just another source of water. There are some special tiles, one in each of the colors, that if the gardener goes there, instead of growing that color bamboo on all the adjacent tiles of the same color, just every irrigated tile of that color in the entire game board grows that bamboo. So that's kind of cool and powerful. And then we have what is possibly my favorite aspect of the entire game, and that is this tile right here. And this is the gardener's hut. The reason why it's my favorite part of the Chibis expansion is when you put the gardener there, you look at the top objective card from all 3 piles and choose one. Which, one of my problems with Takenoko in the past has been you just kind of take what you get and it's all random.
It's too random.
Yeah, that gives you a little bit of choice, which I love. Another thing that Chibis adds is Miss Panda. Which comes with a nice cute little Miss Panda figure, which is cool. And Miss Panda moves around the board, and if she moves to a spot where the panda is, instead of eating bamboo, if you have a piece of bamboo on your board, you can get rid of it, and then you can have a little chibi panda baby. And they're all very cute. They're very cute.
Yeah.
But the other thing, other than the cuteness, is you flip it over, and it gives you a special power that you use once immediately. Things like this one is you can take one of your objective cards and put it back into the pile and take a new one, which is kind of cool. Plus, you get 2 points for every kid at the end of the game. So some bonus points. The other thing it adds is there are new objective cards. And that's it. That's all it adds.
Yeah. So the rules don't change much at all. It just gives you some rules on how to interact with the panda and how to use the chibi babies.
Yeah.
Everything else is pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah, it just adds a little bit more to the tiles and more to the objectives and some new tile like powers.
Some of the objectives are a little bit different as well.
Yeah.
Like how you obtain them. And that's it.
Yeah. So, what do you think of the Chibis expansion?
I like it a lot, and I like it because it gives you a little bit more choice in your game without pushing up the complexity of the game.
Yeah, yeah, and I have to agree. I've actually already launched into my bit of a rant about how this tile here helps make the game so much better for me, but that's the reason why.
And see, I never had a problem with the randomness. I kind of like a little bit of chaos, and I'm usually pretty lucky. Sometimes when I would draw cards from the top, that either already been pretty much completed or completed at the time I drew it. So
yeah.
I never really had much of a problem with it.
Me a little tiny bit.
Yeah.
It's
fun.
It did affect my enjoyment of the game slightly.
I know
still enjoyed it,
yeah.
but I like having more of that choice. And you still have to wait for that tile to come out. So it doesn't drastically change the game, but it changes it just enough for me to enjoy it just a little bit more. Yep. Anything about the expansion that you don't like?
Let me think. I don't actually think so. I find, like, the only thing is I think the copy of the expansion we have and the copy of the game we have weren't produced at the same... Well, of course they weren't produced at the same time, but we might have an old copy of...
Yeah. They weren't produced by the same, like, manufacturer.
Or something.
Something, because...
They have the same publishers.
Yeah.
Art boxes. But the cards don't match up in size, so they're hard to shuffle.
And the difference between them is like a millimeter or like a fraction of a millimeter, but it's enough that if you were to grab them and shuffle them like this, all the cards that are bigger are going to come out, and then basically you don't have anything shuffled. You just have two sections, the new cards and the old cards. Yeah. So we're going to fix that by getting sleeves.
And I mean, that's not even a complaint about the game.
No, not at all. It's kind of a bummer. That shouldn't happen, but sometimes it does.
I like everything it adds. I have heard people complain about it's not thematic for how you get your chibis.
Really?
But, I mean, you're not going to have a relationship and have children without going on a date. And usually most first dates, you go for dinner or something. So I find that thematic. And I know pandas aren't people, but...
I find that very weird. You move Miss Panda onto the same spot as the panda, and they have food.
And then they have a baby.
And then, it results in a baby.
Right.
That totally makes sense to me.
And I mean, for the ages that this game is appropriate for, that's appropriate.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But I don't find that. I think it's just fine the way it is. But I just thought it funny that the stuff that I had watched on it, that was their complaint.
Weird.
Yeah.
I find that odd. So, is Chibis like a must-have expansion for Takenoko?
If you play Takenoko a lot, I would say you should have the expansion. Because it is a very replayable game. I mean, how the board comes out anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
But what it adds to the game, like we said before, it adds extra stuff you can do without complexity. So definitely, I think you should get the expansion if you like the base game already.
If you like it a lot and you play it a lot, it adds some like refreshing new stuff to refresh your game.
And you say definitely for sure, because without this tile, you don't want to play the game.
I don't want to play it as much. And it's funny, since we've got the expansion, I have won at Takenoko a whole lot more than I used to.
Yes. Yes.
So, for me, must have expansion because it brings the game to a level that I enjoyed a whole lot more.
Right. And I can play it both ways.
There you go. Cool. So that is Takenoko Chibis.
Our impressions.
Right.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks a lot.
We'll see you in the next video.
Laters.